Sleep troubles hit everyone once in a while, but if they start to become a regular part of your life, you may be doing something wrong with your evening routine. Sleep hygiene is extremely important and can be the difference between having a rough day or a productive one. Even sleep disorders can potentially be soothed by following a few sleep hygiene tips that we are going to share with you today. Here are 10 sleep mistakes you make without even knowing it. Number 1. Sleeping too warm. While it may be nice to feel all cozy and warm under the covers, it's definitely not going to help you sleep better. Your body's job when you are falling asleep is to lower its temperature. So the warmer your surroundings, the harder that is going to be. The National Sleep Foundation goes as far as to say that the ideal temperature to fall asleep at is between 60 and 67 degrees. If you enjoy sleeping too warm, you may only be making things harder on yourself. Blankets are perfect here if the idea of sleeping at that cold of a temperature just gives you the chills, as you can naturally kick them off of you in order to help your body cool down when you're drifting to sleep. Number 2. Trying to push through with less sleep. Our bodies are resilient, which is a big part of the reason why it can be hard to know exactly how much sleep we need. Many people take the position that they should just power through when they have a busy day tomorrow, but going with less sleep is only going to cost you in the end. Just like when you know you're hungry but decide to push it off until dinner, your body isn't going to just shut down when you are not getting enough sleep, but it will begin to drag you down and affect you in multiple ways. The average adult is supposed to get anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night, with some wiggle room obviously. The best way to know how much sleep you need is just to try and sleep until your body naturally wakes you up. Just make sure that you are well rested before you try this little experiment, however, since your body will try to get some more sleep if it feels it needs it. Number 3. Worrying too much about your sleep schedule. Sadly, you can't just turn your mind off and fall asleep voluntarily. And while some people are better at getting to that state than others, it's not an exact science. While you can fall asleep on command by worrying about it, you can definitely cost your body sleep. Anxiety around sleeping puts pressure on it, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do. If you are one of those people who calculates the exact amount of sleep they are going to get if they fall asleep right that second, you are just doing needless calculations that can only keep you up. Try to relax and find some tricks that work for you, but ultimately it's just between you and your brain. Counting sheep may work for one person and be awful for another. Your journey to better sleep is all about improvement and isn't going to get helped by micromanaging yourself. Number 4. Trying to store hours of sleep. You can't make up for lost sleep, no matter how hard you try. A huge mistake that a lot of experts hear is that people will try to sleep a lot before a stretch where they are going to attempt to sleep less than they need in hopes that they will feel better as a result. Unfortunately, our bodies don't work like that and only store enough sleep to keep us going through the day. Don't waste your day sleeping it away in hopes that it will help you down the line. Instead, try to prevent yourself from getting into those positions to begin with. Your body is resilient, but consistent sleep deprivation can lead to serious health concerns, like unwanted weight gain, memory loss, and heart disease. Number 5. Drinking alcohol to fall asleep. Alcohol has an effect on the body that causes it to become drowsy, and so some people will have what is known as a nightcap before bed in order to get to sleep sooner. This isn't really good for you, especially as alcohol is an addictive substance and can actually lead to some negative side effects. You will fall asleep quickly with alcohol, but once that effect wears off, your body will struggle to get into a deeper sleep. This actually causes you to become groggier, as that deep sleep is really what your body needs to feel well rested. Number 6. Bringing your phone to bed. There are a couple of reasons why bringing your phone with you to bed is a bad idea. For one, the blue light has a negative effect on your circadian rhythm, confusing your body a bit. Second, phones can cause you to become stressed or stimulated, two things that aren't good when you're trying to fall asleep. This goes for laptops too, and while it might seem like it's helping you turn your mind off to watch one more episode of some show, you are actually falling asleep in spite of the show you're watching, not because of it. Interacting with these devices forces us to engage with them, whether we like to or not, and causes our brain to start spinning again. The whole goal of falling asleep is to be in a relaxed and calm state, so browsing through social media or watching a movie is never going to be helpful in that way. Number 7. Not taking time to transition into sleep. Like we've been hammering home, a lot of the mistakes that people make that cause them to lose sleep involve them not taking the time and care needed to do so. There are definitely exceptions, but a good way to get ready for bed is to take some time away from blue light devices to sit with yourself. You can read a book, or do yoga, or even meal prep, but take some time before you enter the bedroom to calm yourself down and enter a state receptive to relaxation. This is doubly true if you are someone who struggles with their sleep cycle, since this can cause stress about the prospect of another sleepless night. Try your best to push these intrusive thoughts out, taking some time to dismantle them and slow yourself down enough to get some sleep. Number 8. Know where you stand with caffeine. Depending on a variety of factors, caffeine may hit you very differently. For some people, caffeine is just a way to relax, while for other people it can mean being wired and anxious for many hours afterward. If you don't think that you can properly handle caffeine, be honest about that fact and stay away from it after a certain period of time in the day. Caffeine can also stress your organs, and this can show itself in you waking up multiple times in the middle of the night. While you may believe you have a sleeping disorder, you could just be suffering from a difficulty with caffeine, which is something that you can deal with quite easily with some moderation. Number 9. Sleeping with your pets. A recent study reported that 63% of people that slept in bed with their pets experienced worse sleep than those that didn't. This is even true for having animals in the room, and is especially true with dogs and cats. Although you may not always realize it, these dogs are often up and about throughout many parts of the night. And although dogs are social sleepers, they may be disrupting your sleep by moving around so much. They are also not very considerate of our sleep schedules. If you share a bed with your pet, you may also get hotter faster, be pushed into uncomfortable positions, or have to deal with them tossing and turning all night. Try sleeping without your pets in the same room for a night and see if that improves your sleep schedule. Pets can also suffer from poor sleep hygiene, and so it might even help them too. It's understandable if you're unsure about this idea if you have a close bond with your pet, but just try to think about how much more energized you'll be the next day, and how much more fun you can have with your pet when you are both awake and ready to play. Number 10. Staying in bed when you can't sleep. You can typically tell what kind of night you are going to have as soon as your head hits the pillow. And even though you don't have to immediately flee the room when you have been up for a bit, you also shouldn't dwell in bed. By doing so, you make the room feel almost combative, with you getting angry that you can't sleep and using your bed as a scapegoat. You will start to associate the bed with this feeling, and that will only bring up panic and anxiety at the slightest inconvenience while sleeping next time, snowballing it into another sleepless night. Instead, you should just leave the room and find something that you enjoy doing in the meantime. If that means falling asleep on the couch, that's fine. Or if you feel tired enough, you can try to go back to bed later. The important part is to not sit in that feeling of anxiety in bed, as you want it to be a place of comfort and relaxation. Do you make any of these sleeping mistakes? Let us know in the comments below. Here are 2 more videos you might find interesting. Feel free to choose the one you like. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos on health, subscribe to the channel.